Hi everybody, the Mature Simmer here. Welcome back to Basics Trucking here. We've got longer distances that we can go, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this job here from Idabel, which is where I ended last. So even though, again, I'm a contractor, I can go anywhere. I'm kind of trying to stay a little bit near where I was before, but we're going to take that down to Beaumont. So it'll get us into Texas as well, which was the previous DLC compared to Oklahoma. So we'll get in there and we'll drive along and have a chat like we always do. Alright, so a boom lift. Ah, okay. Now I see what that is. I was not sure what that meant. But now it makes total sense. Alright, well this is an interesting yard, I'll tell you that. It's like a power substation or something, would be my guess. I guess Faraday, that would make some sense. That's not the way out, unless I'm walking. So, I want to head over this way. Goodness, am I going to be able to make it? Either way, I would have had to turn and go around all this stuff. So, try to swing wide. Luckily, they gave us enough room to do that. But Faraday Energy, named after Nicholas Faraday, I believe. Faraday cage, which is how you can shield something. So, industry I was in at one point. We made EMI and RFI shielding for electronics, cell phones, specifically as the cell phone industry was starting out. Alright. Ooh, I went too far because I wanted the GPS. Clearly I either didn't hear or whatever, but alright, I need to go to the left. Let me make sure no one's coming while I do that. And we've got a viewpoint, which is great. It's daytime. There should be a good view. No fishing here. So this looks like some sort of a state park or something, maybe. So I'm guessing that's kind of what we're gonna be seeing here. But we'll take a look. Rent us. Canoe rentals, kayaks, stuff like that. Alright. Beavers Bend State Park. So it is a state park. But 4 out of 10 viewpoints here in Oklahoma. Not bad. So, nice little campground, boat rental. It's kind of what it looks like we have there. There's the rent us that we saw. But yeah, it's nice that they're doing little things like this. That, you know, obviously the truck's not going in there, but I'm sure it didn't take them a ton of effort to do it. Because again, we've got the haters out on the board again. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Oh, and there's Faraday Energy that we left from, so interesting. So I'm not sure what that has to do with the state park, other than it's nearby. But that's literally where we just took off. Broken Bow. I know that's a city in Oklahoma, I think. I've heard the name. But again, far from an Oklahoma expert. But not sure if that's just cooling down the location or what that building is. But we'll go ahead here. Again, we'll peek out the window to make sure that we can see, and we're going to have to head out here down. It is a paved road. Initially, it didn't really look like it. I was like, we're going to go down this dirt road out of the state park, but it's not that. Let me turn off the GPS in the back on the display because it gets confusing with the hovering one. So anyway, let's just dig right in. So, talking about the haters, this, that, and whatever. There was an announcement today, something about relax. Here's what's coming next, or something like that. And of course, people are speculating here and there. You've got people grumbling about how Oklahoma's terrible within that. The same kind of whines and moans that people always make. Why aren't you giving me seasons? Why aren't you giving me weather? Why aren't you giving me whatever? Versus frankly just, I don't know, it's just not how I operate as a person. It's like if I hate something that much and it's that irritating, I just would stop playing it. I don't understand if it's like that important for you, rather than having somewhere to drive and getting things placed and expanding the map. If you really needed it and it was bugging you enough, then stop showing up every time they have it and complaining. And again, I haven't done enough views to see, are they the same people making the same sad comments all the time or whatever, but yeah, we don't know what's coming. There's people speculating it's Louisiana and Arkansas because they're seeing swamps and other things, and then there's others who are speculating South Dakota, which would seem more logical to me. They don't have anything super obvious like the Badlands or something that would make it obviously South Dakota, but to me, I don't know that Louisiana and Arkansas make a whole lot of sense. It would be a weird way to go on the map in my viewpoint. It's like just keep squaring it off. Stop making little pieces that extend. Because frankly, if you watched one of my earlier series, or the Coast to Coast series actually, which was the earlier one that ran for a while before this, when you're starting out with a profile in ATS, and you're basically just trying to maximize both your money and your XP, you're going to take the longest runs you possibly can. I'm just doing it a little bit differently here in this one, in that this is really the first time I put less of a focus on distance and more of a focus on cargo types and so forth, trying to get hazmat and heading in that direction of maybe trying to be a hazmat hauler once I'm able to afford my own equipment. But I'm trying to kind of move things along here so that I can get that equipment and start going down that path sooner rather than later. So that's why I did go ahead and up this to 400. I don't know that I'll go further than that, because I think it's gonna it'd make for episodes that are far too long again. And it's not as if I've seen any evidence. I haven't calculated it, so I could be wrong. A Dewey Pile, that is a major carrier, certainly, but I haven't seen any evidence that if I do an 800-mile run versus two 400-mile runs, that my payoff would be significantly higher on the 800-mile run. I mean, logically, it makes a little sense in that they give you some incentive to be a long-haul trucker, to be away from your family days at a time, so forth and so on. But I don't know how accurate that really is, and especially how it's modeled in the game, because I think some of it, like in this case, we're making a good amount here, but it's gonna be $23,522 is what I'm being told, so it'll get me over 100,000, and versus the 7,000 or 8,000 I was making before. But part of it is because I've got I think a high value load, and I've got a little bit of importance on the delivery time. So once again, I don't want to dawdle. I don't want to take too long. I want to get there. I can, and the nice thing is with the 400-mile runs, I can still do that within my hours of service, and I'm not having to sleep or any of that. Where if I start to get longer, I'm into that, and you know, factoring that into things and so forth. So, you know, I think this works out well, the way it's going, but, you know, we'll see. But, you know, I know, like, when I do the full runs, so my point being, you know, you run those long runs, and what I started having before they started getting Montana and Wyoming and those states in was I'd be running the diagonal from, I guess it'd be New Mexico up to Washington, because that was like the longest run you could make, because it, you know, and then the other corner, the southwest and northeast run, could only get you like up to Colorado or something. But, you know, then suddenly being able to get up to Montana, like now I've got angles that work. And so once again, if they go to Louisiana and Arkansas, before they do North and South Dakota, they're kind of creating that same kind of, it's not really a triangle, but you know what I mean, type of situation where I have a northwest to southeast long diagonal, but the other opposing diagonal is significantly shorter, because I'm just basically expanding in a way that kind of goes out in one area and heads east faster in one space, as opposed to more methodically going across, like they kind of set the pattern with, you know, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, then go down, you know, to Texas. You know, and Texas was announced earlier. It just, Texas took longer because it was so big. So there were those opportunities, and it's still kind of, you know, Montana came out first, so they had kind of squared everything off. And as much as possible, I think that would be, to me, that's a better way to go. I get that people find Louisiana more interesting than South and North Dakota. But just as the conversation I've had about Oklahoma, like, SCS can't control what the United States looks like and how God made the states. They look like what they look like. You know, so grumbling about that. I don't know why I have my turn signal on. Habit. Or wait, did it? Oh, I had it on because I should have turned, because I'm a fool. Alright, well now I'm making my life really interesting here. So, this is going to get ugly. I'm going to try to let that guy by. Alright, let's see. Hopefully I can do this without causing too much difficulty. We don't know if that mailbox is real. It is, darn it. I knocked it over. It's laying on the driveway. It's good that it was real in that regard. I'm sure those people who grumble a bit would be happy to know that they just didn't give me a fake thing like we got in Farming Simulator sometimes. So let's see, we've got a yield. I hit the mouse to look around a little. Whoa, off. I almost hit that concrete. That would have been bad. That would have done some nasty damage, I think. So we got 16 miles to the state line, I saw. Alright, so we'll get this set. And now we'll go. So I was turning left because I needed to turn left. And I was kind of thinking that that would be the situation, but obviously it wasn't playing out that way. So at this point it's saying a little over 6 hours to get there. So that should be, what, 4 p.m.? No, 6 p.m. Wow. Okay. And, you know, my hours of service window is 11.5 hours, so we should be perfectly fine here. So, crossing the Red River. This is probably the border already. But we'll see when we see a Texas sign. Is that one? It is. So, welcome to Texas. Alright, I'm going to turn right, huh? Alright. Interesting. Definitely an interesting on-ramp here. So does this go under? Yeah, I guess it's going to go underneath. Alright, so turn left. I heard it this time. I heard it last time, obviously. I just forgot about it while I was sitting at the red light. But, yeah, I meant to mention this a little bit earlier, but we had, like I said, I got derailed by the thoughts of the grumblers. But something else is coming, so I'm thinking they may be announcing another state and kind of going along with the three announcement they did before, where I was like, hoping they were going to announce Nebraska and the Dakotas together. You know, maybe that's what they're doing. I mean, that would be great if now it's a South and a North Dakota announcement. And to me, and I don't know enough about the foliage in Louisiana and Arkansas, but there's a lot of conifers in the screenshots they've given us, which to me screams more north than it does south. You're gonna have, to me, the southern swamps, you're gonna have cypress and magnolia and that kind of stuff. You're not gonna have conifers, although there are some of those down south, I think. But so just not sure what we'll get, but I think that would be pretty cool if they did that and then really kind of squared things off, because I do think if they could show us, and to me, you know, again, not grumbling, but I think there is some grumbling of folks about maybe moving things faster, and one way to do that is put multiple states in a release. And I think that becomes more feasible as we keep moving east, partially because the states get smaller as you go in that direction. You've got some smaller options that, you know, they're not all smaller. You know, Illinois, Minnesota, those are still big. But, you know, you get really far east and you're talking like Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts and stuff like that. You know, yeah, I mean, you've got pretty compact states compared to Texas that we're in now. So, you know, but people are just kind of doing the marquee things. You know, I want to see Florida. I want to do whatever. Okay, we'll see Florida when we get to Florida. Let's just be patient and get there. You know, to me, Florida is one of the most boring states to drive in. So I don't understand that. You know, I've gone down. I'm a big Disney fan. My family's been down there a lot. You know, got family that live down there now, so we visit them once in a while. To me, it's just a giant, flat, wet, hot, humid mess down there. I don't understand what people are excited about. You know, okay, great, you'll have the Everglades. You know, if they take you all the way out to Key West or something, I mean, it might be cool because you're driving in the ocean and, you know, doing stuff like that. I mean, there's just like any state, there's some uniqueness certainly available. But to me, it's not like let's just get there because it's going to be so incredible. It's just another state. You know, and they'll come out in due time. And to me, they're spending time on it and they're making progress. And as long as they're doing that, I'm all good. So, all right. So Houston. There's a lot of, seems like we're like going in circles. I just went right, now I'm going right again. But it wasn't a straight line down. I really should look. I'm just assuming nothing's coming, because usually ATS isn't that mean. But, alright, so Texarkana discovered. Did I not? I mean, I've driven in Texas. You know what? I think I did Texas as a mini-series at one point when it came out. So yeah, I guess I haven't driven in Texas in a game profile. You know, or it's possible I did it in coast to coast when it got added. I don't know. But clearly not in this profile. But that'll be good, because that means literally 100% of this road is discoverable then. So that'll just be a nice addition to that part of the process. Not that I'm really targeting that or anything. That would take a extremely long time. I think I shared with folks at one point in one of these that at one point I did decide, well, I'm going to try to just see what it takes to do 100% of the map. And my intent, as always, was to try to do it everywhere. But the thought pattern I had, just to make it a little more doable, was let me shrink the map down to the base. So basically I got rid of all DLC, so all I had was California and Nevada, and I was successful in getting that to 100%. But the amount of effort that took to go get every last little quarter mile, I mean, it just ended up being the fact, like, if I hadn't had quick travel and didn't have the ability to just hop the truck around the map, I don't know that I would have ever done it. But even when I was doing it, like, I was driving down interstates and then just stopping and, like, backing up the entrance ramp to discover it. And so, you know, just driving the wrong way and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't natural in any way. But I'd be amazed if someone was able to get to 100% in a state, like, just by legitimately playing the game and just by running routes and, you know, and doing okay at it. Because I think that's the thing, like, to get some of the routes that really don't connect any cities easily, you're basically having to take a longer trip, and then you're in danger of delivering late, all that kind of stuff. Now, I will say the one thing I don't like, however, is there are, you know, when they're doing the state parks and so forth, like, in theory you can't, like, they give you a penalty for driving the truck there. Like, in game they give you a penalty to mimic what would happen in real life, but I just don't know that those belong in a truck simulator. I mean, on the one hand, I do enjoy, like, seeing how they modeled them and just getting to drive through them, because they're always in beautiful areas here out west. But it just seems like they should allow you in some way, you know, maybe you're delivering something for the park service or something. Like, there should be something that allows you to get in there without incurring a penalty. Because I just go through with my tractor and just drive without a trailer, because usually the roads are tighter and it would be really hard to haul anything anyway. And even with that, the game gives you a warning, you know, there's no truck traffic allowed and whatever. It just seems a little strange in a game that has to do with trucking. But I understand, I'm sure they include something like a Yellowstone or whatever, or Glacier, because people are like, oh, I want to drive through these areas, especially if you've never been blessed to visit them directly yourself or so forth. You know, the folks who, like me, enjoying Euro Truck Simulator, you know, because I'm not over there. You know, I think there's a lot of folks from Europe who enjoy ATS because it's just a vastly different experience to drive over here than it is over there, where you just don't have the wide open spaces that you have exactly here, as we're seeing in East Texas. So, and then, you know, this semi disproves what I just said about Louisiana and Arkansas. I mean, we're down south, kind of at that same level here, and there's clearly plenty of conifers. The road's surrounded by them, so maybe they're right. Whatever it is, it is. I mean, I have a preference that they go up and do North and South Dakota, and then, you know, whether they want to then do Minnesota and come down, or they want to jump back down to Louisiana and kind of fill it up again. Don't really care that way, but I'm not quite sure why people are saying Louisiana and Arkansas, because I can't imagine that they would do those states together. They're both kind of decent sized, at least Louisiana certainly is, and I'm sure Louisiana's got unique enough terrain that it wouldn't make a lot of sense. It's not like you can duplicate a ton of things. I was moving in my actual chair, and then suddenly I'm floating over there. It looks like he's exiting. He is. Alright. Alright, I saw Jasper and Beaumont. What is going on? I'm like looking over at my sim dashboard, or yes, whatever it is. I'm using a different version, I forget. I don't think it's sim dashboard. Sim hub, I think is what it's called. But looking over there, and suddenly I'm drifting off the road. Oh, another power substation. You do need them. I don't know that I'd say they're prevalent, but they're certainly not things that you don't see, especially on a road trip like this. So but yeah, for those who maybe are here getting their truck fix, just, hey, I want to see some truck sim because Euro Truck's not been on the channel in forever. You're right, I'm waiting. They're still not updated with Pro Mods, and just with everything I've had going on, I've kind of taken the opportunity to give myself a little bit of a break from having to stay on the schedule with truck sims and so forth, and have just been waiting until Pro Mods is done with the change. Of course, as soon as they do it, they're going to release West Balkans, and then it'll be held again. There's definitely more and more material coming out. They did provide a gameplay trailer for that recently. Wow, I did not expect him to stay that long in the lane. I also honestly didn't see him slowing down, so shame on me. Probably too much focus on staring off at other things. But luckily no accident, no harm, no foul. But I haven't given up on it. It's coming, but because once again it's got, you know, the real economy mod, and just made changes there, and you know, when the other one broke because they weren't keeping it updated, you know, there's still concerns with me of, will we eventually have to abandon that, you know, either abandon that part or whatever. I think if I lost the real economy and I couldn't really run a reasonable real economy mod, like I think that series would wrap up at that point. But hopefully we don't have to worry about that. But as I said, yes, they've released a West Balkans. Ooh. So we do have, as a reminder, we do have like detours and random events like that, just left at the default that the game normally starts with. It's the first series I've done that in, whether on the YouTube channel or just when I've played before. I've always kind of kept it low because I just felt it was a little bit too frequent and I just wanted to drive. But I decided in this series I'm going to go back to the roots and back to the basics of how that works. Did he seriously slow down just to move over to the right-handed lane, and now I'm down to 30 miles an hour because of that? I thought he was turning. So that's not fun. Alright. So we're getting close. A little bit of like mobile homes on the side there. Jasper, I think. Don't know if this is a discoverable city. There are 30 of them in Texas, so by far the most. I think a lot of states tend to have, you know, low low double digits, 10, 11, maybe 13, 14 type thing. But 30 is a lot. Alright, looks like Beaumont's still like 60 or 70 miles away, so we've got a ways to go. Alright, speed limit's going to pop up to 50 here. So there we go, we're no longer speeding. Yeah, but leaving Jasper. So yeah, so I think we're getting close. The cool thing is ProMods did put up on their site like a info link that then shows you the various stages that the mod goes through with the alpha and beta testing and senior testers and this and that, and then I think it's out to the media now, and then I think it's got a couple more tests of the release candidate. So I would say any day now, so maybe next time, because it was supposed to be the 3rd of September was the last Euro Truck time slot that I missed. So it should be the 11th, which is, whoa, I am just driving poorly today, which is only 5 days away, so I may still miss that one, but I would hope the one after that I'll be able to be back with real economy trucking Euro style. Speaking of Euro style, In-N-Out Burger. You can get your burger animal style, which is a sauce. You can also get that on your fries. So I was told that was the best by the folks that live out there in California when I visited for work, and so that's the way I've done it. It is good. It's kind of got it's kind of like a ketchupy cream, ketchupy mayo type sauce with onions and stuff in it. At least to me they seem like they're onions. Ooh, I didn't see this. Oh boy. Alright, there we go. I wanna see the viewpoint. I missed it. I don't know that I've seen this one, but I certainly haven't in this profile, so I won't have shared it with you. Yeah, I know. Lucky I didn't have anyone run into me. Boona County. I just saw the camera on the side of the road. I honestly didn't see it in the mini-map. So, Chuck and Jack's. I swear we passed that sign like forever ago. But maybe it's a really big county. Or maybe it's just another Chuck and Jack's than the one that I passed. But I swear it was like 3 or 4 minutes ago, which probably would have made it like 100 miles ago. It seems like a long way in a county. Oh, it looks like they got some logging here in Boona County. I assume it's Boona. If somehow, on the crazy off chance, someone who lives there is there and I'm saying it wrong, correct me, let me know. Is it Bunna? Buna? I mean, could be lots of ways. So definitely focusing a lot on the logging here. So this must be an area well known for logging, or the person who made the cutscene just likes logging and said, I'm going to put way more logging in there than there needs to be, because I like it. It's a pretty long cutscene. But, you know, as they say, everything's big in Texas, so maybe that's why. Oh, that's still not it. Goodness. Alright, so War Memorial. People are getting upset. Oh, it's Jason Statham there at the War Memorial. I'm funny, aren't I? Alright. So now the question is, am I going to be able to get out onto the road, or am I going to make a bigger disaster? I'm going to be bad and cut him off just because I can, because I'm pretty comfortable with ATS AI that way and know they're not going to run me over. So I say that, and I've gotten hit before, so I don't know. Alright, about an hour in-game ETA, so about 7:30 is when we should expect to be there. Of course, I'll have to park. I think I can park this, so I may have to back it into something, or maybe it'll just be a pull-in. But delivery 15, so yeah, I think they've got 15 hours still that I could do it, but I'll be there in less than an hour. So they'll have it more than a day before they would have expected it, because in 15 hours that puts me like mid-morning tomorrow. Alright, and that is Kunza. Not sure if that's really it. Alright, we're down to 55, 65, I guess. I don't know why I thought it said 55. Got my glasses on. You'd think I could read it, but obviously not. Alright, and I-10, I think, is the southernmost east-west interstate. I know it goes to Florida, and I know it goes to California, so I'm assuming that it's continuous all the way across the United States. Not sure if it's one of the longest, or maybe it is the longest. I don't think it is. I think the longest belongs to either I-80 or I-90 up north, because I think that goes from like New York City to Seattle or Portland or one of those. So yeah, I haven't driven in a long while, so I'm just doing a terrible drive of doing it, I'll tell you that. Alright, where is Beaumont? I was half expecting to see a blinking flag there, but obviously not. Burger King? I love me my Whopper. So, Whopper with cheese. That was my... What? I thought I had the turn signal on. Maybe not. Great. Alright, well... Again, this is a series I guess I can do violations on, but with the new stat tracking, I was hoping to be citation-free. But this is Beaumont. So we're going to have something somewhere here.
Go straight.
Alright, are we still going to wait for that light to turn green? I guess we are. But we've got to be close. 5 miles, so yeah. Not far at all. Gas station there. Bank. I did look for updates. I think I mentioned this in the last episode too, of both traffic and companies and so forth, but not seeing anything. So either the people that are doing it have stopped updating, or there just wasn't, there wasn't a need to update or something. I don't know, but in any event, there's nothing out there for me to grab. And so that includes any of the other real mods and so forth, because I was looking like for the gas stations and stores and so forth, so that we can have that functioning in these states too. Alright, I'm imagining it's not going to be super far. Now it's down to 4 miles. Again, the miles tend to stretch out a bit more in town as the speed goes down too. So we're getting to some things like Dunkin' Donuts and Burger King, like those aren't in the map, but the gas stations, for whatever reason, and the banks are showing up as... Jeez. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. So I'm just handing money over left and right, I'll tell you. I completely forgot my normal, let's just turn on the headlights and drive with them all day, because otherwise it's not dark and I don't feel I need them yet, and then I get fined. Tends to be about 7 p.m. like this was here, so. But yeah, there's a good amount of hauling around here in Beaumont before I get to my delivery point. So I'm not sure if it's at the port of Beaumont. I do have to turn left, so he's not gonna let me in. The other guy, I think, is. Come on. I know it's gonna be an arrow. Oh boy. I hope I can make it. I can, thank goodness. It's been long enough at lights. Because, yeah, it's still telling me 3 miles here. Oh, this hill is a bit. But truck route, I like that. I like how that's marked. Very authentic. Alright, and it looks like we turn at the second right. Orleans. Alright. So the stop sign is the first one. But yes, it looks like Beaumont Freight Terminal is where we're headed. So they're going to be shipping this boom. Am I really turning right? Why would I turn right versus... Oh boy. It would seem that I'd want to... I'm going to go forward. I don't know why. I'm probably going to regret this.
Finding a new route.
So... Can I not get there from here? I don't understand. Like, it literally looks like I can turn right and head over. Like, there's a road. I don't know. I'm going to try it. If not, I'm going to have a really long U-turn, I guess. But, like, right now, I mean, I think I'm able to get there.
When possible, make a U-turn.
So, it'd be disappointing if I couldn't. And I guess if I have to, although, well, this is on the other side, but still, I just wonder if I can't get in here from here. But, or if I just, the way I have to pull in, it just felt that it would be a better angle.
You have arrived at your destination.
So there you go. So I don't understand. Alright, so they're gonna want me way down there. They're having way too much fun over there. Whoa. What? Okay, how do I do this? I don't know that I can get in there. There isn't that much room. Oh boy, and I want to do this without... Alright, I think what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have to go on the other side of that reefer and basically then turn around from there. I think I'm clear of him, so let me start doing this. We'll start looking in the mirror. Nope, I don't think that's working well at all. So let me straighten this out. Now we'll do this. Yeah, I literally can't see anything over there. I have to look at my mirror, but now I can't really tell anything in the mirror either. But what I'm trying to do is get... God, that is really tight. Oh, great, I'm hitting hitting the thing. I don't know if you can hear my wheel vibrating, but it is. I'm not sure if I'm going to hit something, because if I do, this will be bad. This is going to be a tough one. So we may have half an hour here of me trying to park, let's be honest. But yeah, this gets me turned around. Oh, hitting the train tracks there. It's not going to let me get away with that. Because yeah, there's two areas there. Like this is gonna be tricky. I'm not gonna lie. So let's see. If I start going there, I'm gonna have to start turning right away, I think. Because I gotta get past the red container, but then get turned in there pretty quickly. So I should get a good amount of parking experience for it. Alright, let me start that. Hopefully that'll work. I think that looks good. Just don't know that I'm gonna clear the Pepsi truck appropriately, but we'll find out. If not, I apologize to Pepsi and its parent company, if there is one. I don't know. But I think I'm doing alright. Let's see. Alright. So now let me rotate this. Turn. Alright. And we'll start that. Get ourselves in there. Alright, and we'll want to go the other way. And again, kind of straighten out. Of course, now I can't really see. But let's see. No, I want to go this way so that I can move a little bit back that way. And now I want to cut over there. There we go. That'll work. So, shoreside delivery. Cool. Let's see. We get there? We did. Awesome. Just got there, but that's alright. So, 1,092, 23,522, so we did well. Alright. So do we want to do flammable liquids or explosives? I think I'm going to go with the flammable. Should give me the most options, but 110,000. I think I need a good amount more before I can still... I can buy a truck, but then I don't know. Let me take a look at the truck dealers. What have I discovered even? Have I discovered any? My goodness. Kenworth, that's it. I gotta start finding some truck dealers. Because right now, this is doing nothing. So, I've got the Kenworth dealer in Ogden, and that's it. So, I suppose, let me see. I thought there was a way to see the trucks. No, those are just upgrades. Yeah, I thought there was a way for me to look at trucks without, you know, just kind of exploring them, but I guess not. So anyway, guess we'll worry about it when I'm getting closer. But yeah, I need to find some garages or some dealers, or because I'm pretty sure I don't want a Kenworth. But in any event, thanks for tagging along. If you've enjoyed it, please drop a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. I'd greatly appreciate it. Helps the channel spread, and if we've got people who are involved and participating and so forth, and more subscribers we have, that helps out, as does do the likes, obviously, to get the videos out there. So I will see you next time.